Welcome back. I'm joined here with Mr. Randall Kremer and Gary Sturm of the Smithsonian Institution. Welcome, gentlemen. Nice to have you on. Nice to have you on.
Nice to see you, yes.
Thank you for coming up from Washington to do the show.
No, it's our pleasure.
It's my thrill. Tell me, how did the blue guitars come to be exhibited, or guitars in general? You often have other guitars besides blue guitars at the Smithsonian. Am I correct?
Well, we've had different guitars on view in a much smaller situation than what we have now. We currently have nearly 40 guitars from the Chinery collection on view that was part of an exhibition that was put together last fall that Gary was very closely involved in. The blue guitars are going to go on view this fall because basically they signify the remarkable range of expertise that is now seen in archtop guitar construction. And at Smithsonian, our edict is to show innovation, beauty, significance in all forms, whether it be in a natural history museum or in terms of musical instruments. We feel that the blue guitars exemplifies that in terms of archtop guitar construction.
Mm-hmm. And these certainly are a part of American history.
Very much so, and I think as the years go on, you will see the blue guitar collection as a milestone in appreciation for guitar construction and what the archtop guitar means to American history.
And you're very knowledgeable of guitars, I've noticed. We've met before in the past. You are a guitar player, right?
Yeah, I'm very much a jazz guitar enthusiast, and that's really how I got involved in this. I'm a public affairs director at Smithsonian, and I've always been interested in seeing the guitar elevated to the position of prominence that I think it deserves at the Smithsonian. And about 3 years ago, I got together with Gary, who is the director of, basically the keeper of musical instruments at the Smithsonian in the Division of Cultural History at American History, and we started talking about whether there was the possibility of doing a larger guitar exhibition at Smithsonian than we'd ever done before. And two things were clearly needed to do that. One was we needed funds. We needed the financial wherewithal to make it happen. And secondly, we needed a sort of collection that would show the full breadth of development of the guitar in American musical history. Well, that seemed to come together when I was introduced by Larry Akinto to Scott Chinery. The Chinery collection is the preeminent collection of guitars in the world, and we are very fortunate to have at our disposal the use of various guitars from the collection that Scott Chinery has put together for a variety of projects at Smithsonian. It started about a year ago with the guitar exhibition that was on view, and it will continue with the blue guitars. And we're thrilled to have not only the support of Scott in terms of making the guitars available, but he has given us a substantial amount of money for guitar programming and for other aspects of presentation of this nature.
Thank God for Scott. Gary, what is your involvement? What are your duties with the blue guitars?
Well, in my work at the Smithsonian, I do a lot of collecting, I do research, I put on exhibitions, and with colleagues we program things because we feel it's really important that instruments, especially the musical instrument collections, be heard and used, that to have things in exhibit cases alone only tells part of the story. And in fact, one of the things that is especially nice from my point of view is that when we do these kinds of things, whether it's a performance or an exhibition, part of what we do at the Smithsonian is we want to inspire people who come to the place. And one way to inspire them is to touch them with something they know or something that's familiar to them. And in this case, having a guitar collection where it's an instrument that for many people, a piano or a harmonica might have been in their lives. Well, certainly the guitar has that universal background, so people can come to the museum, they can identify with things. What's nice also is that people think of us as a place where if it isn't 100 years old, why is it in a museum? And again, it's to acknowledge that there are contemporary makers of guitars, that this long tradition of even going back to the violin making traditions that continues is still alive and well today, and people who come to our museum should know that. and this is a way for us to present that information.
Very good. When will the guitars go on exhibit?
We will open this exhibit on November the 10th with a concert by Bucky and John Pizzarelli. And then the instruments will be on exhibit continuously for a whole year. And the museum is open every day of the year except Christmas Day, so virtually any time people can come, and it's free.
Okay. And with an estimated 14 million guitar players, I'm sure you'll have quite a crowd. Do you anticipate a large crowd?
We do. In fact, I'll mention this. In the past couple of weeks, there was a big gathering in Washington, as you might remember, of the Promise Keepers, which is largely male-dominated. Sure. I went down to our exhibit gallery on the Friday before that gathering on Saturday, and the place was packed. It was 4 deep with guys looking at guitars. So we've reached a whole new audience for sure.
That's great. Thank you both for coming on today to speak about the exhibit, and I look forward to coming down myself and seeing the exhibit.